My name is Justin, and I'm 35. I have to begin by admitting that I've got an addiction issue. I am addicted to mature married women. I work 3 12-hour shifts at the local hospital, so I have plenty of time during the week to feed my addiction. I have met several mature professional women who let their inhibitions down at happy hour, and on more than one occasion I have been able to convince one to retire to a local hotel with me to satisfy our urges. One time I was checking out a bar in Charleston. It was about 7 o'clock on a Friday. There were several mature women grouped together talking and drinking cocktails. They were professionally dressed in their business attire. A few wore shapely skirts below the knees and dressy pumps which turned me on. A few were swaying to the music, and I made my way over to them. My interest fell on a very attractive woman. I'm guessing she was in her late 40s or early 50s. She had dark shoulder-length hair and nice amplage inside her red silk blouse. She was slightly overweight but still sexy as hell. I inadvertently bumped into her and spilled some of her drink. "Excuse me, I'm so terribly sorry. That was so clumsy. I see I spilled your drink. Please let me get you another one," she replied.
"Oh, that's fine. I don't need another one. I have plenty."
"No, that's not fair," I insisted. "I will get you another one." "Was that a vodka and orange juice on the rocks?"
Actually, it was a fuzzy navel.
"Fine, I'll be right back," and I took her glass. I secured a fuzzy navel for this gorgeous woman, and I brought it back to her. She was still gently swaying to the music. "My name is Justin, and you are?" she replied while prominently displaying her wedding ring while accepting the glass.
"My name is Ellen."
She knew I saw it, but I didn't shy away from talking to her. "This is a really popular place. Do you come here for the music?"
"Not particularly. It's happy hour, and I'm here for a little relaxation with my coworkers."
"Where do you work?"
"Ardent Logistics Corporation."
"I've heard of them. What do you do?"
"I'm the manager of corporate communications."
"Oh, so you're in charge of things like investor and public relations."
"I report to the VP of Administration, but yes, those are the areas I am responsible for."
She was impressed that I was familiar with her company and what she did there. A song came on that I liked. "Ellen, I really like this song. Please dance with me so that I don't look like an idiot." She smiled and relented, and we danced for one song. I thanked her and we parted ways. I came back the following week and she wasn't there. The third week she was there, and I introduced myself again and offered to buy her a drink at the bar. She accepted, and we sat at the bar and talked. Her full name was Ellen Ryan. She was 51 years old, had been married for 31 years, and had one daughter in college and another one in graduate school. I got her away from her coworkers and out on the dance floor for several songs. After dancing, we sat together at a secluded table in the corner. She was a lot more relaxed this time around. I bought her dinner, and we were laughing it up. She was definitely tipsy. As we talked, she started telling me some more personal things, like how selfish her husband could be and how he constantly forgot important dates. I started integrating some innocent touching, like on the hand, shoulder, or waist. This went on for a few more weeks. We'd meet at happy hour. We'd dance, flirt heavily, touch lightly. As we grew closer, I decided to shift our meeting place to another venue that was a bit more intimate. I also wanted to see her on a night other than Friday. I asked her to meet me after work next Tuesday, and she agreed. In preparation for our Tuesday night date, I rented a nice romantic hotel room before we met. I met her at an upscale restaurant downtown, and we had dinner and we danced. She was wearing a silk blouse that exposed some of her ampleness. Her skirt was still below the knee, but tighter than usual, and slid a little bit above the knee. She wore a long string of pearls that sat on her neck perfectly. We sat back down at the table in the darkened room, and I started whispering to her. I told her how gorgeous she looked and that I found her incredibly attractive. I placed my hand on the inside of her knee. There was no resistance. In fact, she snuggled in tight. I started moving my hand more. Again, no resistance. Our faces were so close, and then our lips locked in a kiss. She gently pulled away.
"I don't know."
She half-heartedly said.
"I don't know."
I kissed her again and pulled her closer. I then got up and took her by the hand.
"Where are we going?"
she asked with a lustful look on her face. "I have a surprise, Ellen." We went out the front door and stepped into the hotel across the street.
"What in the world?"
she said, but she didn't stop or resist. I have booked the honeymoon suite for us,
I don't know about this. I don't know.
she repeated.
Justin. I don't know.
But I had wrapped my arm around her waist, and she tightly wrapped her arm around mine. We walked to the elevator and rode up to the 9th floor in our room. I waved the keycard over the lock. I looked her in her eye, and we kissed. It's going to be magical, I said. We went inside, and the room was perfect. There were mirrors all around. There was soft lighting, and the bed was perfect. I held her tight and kissed her. I was looking into her eyes. She looked into mine. She was gorgeous. Her voluptuous body drove me wild. I led her to the bed, and I was all over her. The lights were on and the shades were not drawn, and several rooms in the adjacent tower had an unobstructed view of our bed. We didn't care. We made love with the shades opened. We enjoyed each other. It was so powerful. We collapsed in tangled exhaustion. We rested a bit, and then we made love again. She began moaning, but abruptly stopped.
I need to make a call.
I was going to stop, but she said, "Don't you dare. You better not stop." In the middle of our session, she called her husband to tell him that her sister had an emergency and that she would be spending the night there. When she hung up, we really started going at each other. At first, I held her shoulders. The headboard of the bed was slamming against the wall, and she was groaning very loud. She went over the edge again and again. Exhausted, she collapsed face down on the pillow. We enjoyed each other all through the night. And the next day she decided to call in sick. While she was calling her boss, I was all over her. And I was glued to her until just before checkout. She went home before her husband got home from work and cleaned up and got her alibis all established. I met her again a couple of weeks later at the old bar on Friday. She pulled me aside.
That was the most incredible experience I've ever had, but I don't know if I can chance it again.
I understand, dear. It was incredible for me too. I went on. If you change your mind, here are my phone numbers. Call me anytime you want. I didn't hear anything for 2 months, and thinking things were over, I forgot about her. But then one day out of the blue my cell phone rang.
Hello, Justin. This is Ellen.
Hi, Ellen. How are you?
To be honest, I really need to see you.
Where are you, Ellen?
I'm calling from my office. I would like for you to meet me at the Sheraton at exit 25 on Saturday at 10 a.m. Is that possible?
Sure, baby, I'd love to.
See you then, honey.
Saturday rolled around, and about 9:30 she called me on my cell phone.
Come to room 325.
I did as I was told and knocked. She opened the door, and she was dressed in lacy white lingerie and white spike pumps. She looked incredible. While the door was open, she swung her arms around my neck, bear hugged me, and passionately kissed me.
My husband has gone on a golfing trip and won't be back until Wednesday. I booked the room for 2 nights and brought my work clothes for Monday. I want you to have your way with me for 2 solid days, if that is all right with you.
I picked up the Do Not Disturb sign, placed it on the doorknob, and closed it. I was out of my clothes in a New York second. We made love in every way possible and on every piece of furniture in the room. I enjoyed her on the table in front of the open window. We couldn't get enough of each other. She was going wild. Later she told me she saw some people point up at us from the parking lot. Ellen was definitely into putting on an anonymous show. Early that Saturday night when we were recovering, the couple in the room next to us were making loud noises as they enjoyed each other. It drove us crazy. We didn't even deal with the preliminaries when we heard that. We just wildly and passionately made love again. I was addicted to her passion. I was addicted to her touch. I was addicted to her body. And I think she is addicted to me now too. Seemingly she can't go more than 2 weeks without giving herself to me. And every month we enjoy each other for 2 solid days at a time while her husband goes golfing or off on business. She often tells me,
I really get irritable if I don't see you on schedule. You're my magic sedative.
Ellen and I have been having our affair for over 3 years now, and we are both at peace with our situation. Is it wrong? Absolutely. But it feels incredible.